What's happening, guys? Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here at Mannum. It's about 7:30, something like that. Got up nice and early. Pretty good day by the looks of it. And we're about 400 or 500 metres from the two ferries at Mannum. I've got my camera stuck up there on the roof, so we should be able to cross to that in a minute. But yeah, not a bad morning heading to where are we going? Lake Callop. Let's see if we find a good spot there. I've got sort of in the back of my mind I might go right through to Piggy Flat, but we'll see. That'll be a long day. That'll probably be a 7-hour day or so. But probably go just to Lake Callop, which should be about 3.5 hours, the normal distance I travelled in a morning. So let's get going. Absolutely stunning this morning. Probably about 3 kilometres from Young Husband. Windmill alert. You know how I love my windmills. I seem to run into the Proud Mary about every second day. Beautiful boat. So this is Lake Callop. I wanted to pull up before here, but I couldn't find a good spot, so we'll cruise on for another kilometre or so and start looking for a nice spot to moor up for the night. So Lake Callop didn't turn out like I thought it would. I didn't really find a nice spot there, so we've just gone past it. We got a bit of a breeze up. It's been a perfect day so far, but now I've got a bit of a breeze up behind me, and usually I've always seems like I'm going into the bloody breeze, but I'm going to make the most of this and we'll keep going. Got a corner down here. I think that should take me to Till Flat, and once I get around the corner, that should be out of the wind a bit. I'll start looking for a little spot. If I don't find anything, I'll just keep going, because I've got a nice spot just past Piggy Flat before Bowhill. Well guys, this is how you run out of fuel. I went twice as far as what I was going to go today, so we're only about a kilometre from Bowhill, but there wasn't any good spots back there, and I knew there was a couple of good spots here, so I just did a U-turn to come into here, and she conked out and the wind just brought me in nicely. So this is going to be it for a few days. Great little spot. I hope it was fuel. I'm about to go and check it. I'll let you know. So here we are, Bowhill, we've made it. It's actually 3 days after I first ran out of fuel and landed. I thought I was so happy when I pulled in there, even though I'd run out of fuel. I thought we'd top her up and we'll stay there for a couple of days. Changed the fuel over, bloody boat wouldn't start. Checked it, everything, couldn't get it to run, thought it wasn't getting any spark, so started to panic, got worried, I was pissed off. So the next morning I towed it with the dinghy down here. I wanted to get it to the Bowhill ramp. It's not far from home. My son could come and bring me the spare motor and I could change a few parts over. So I got up early Monday morning, towed it behind the dinghy. I was zigzagging all over the bloody place and I had to whack it in here, and I jumped out in me jocks to grab it because a bit of wind came up, but we got it in here nice and safe. My son brought the motor, we changed parts over, still couldn't get it to start, and it had spark. So in the end I called Ben from, it's a mobile marine service from Mannum, Slipstream he's called, Slipstream Mobile Marine. Great bloke, came here, checked it out for me. He couldn't work it out for a long time either. He must have been here 3 hours, and it was getting spark. It had good compression, so it had to be fuel, but just couldn't work it out. In the end we found out that it had with it running out of fuel, the needle and seat had dried up and stuck, so it wasn't getting any fuel. So we eventually got that all sorted. So yeah, I was pretty happy once it started up again. I was starting to think the end of the trip is getting a little bit too close, but we got it going, so pretty happy now. So here at Bowhill, a great little spot. This is where I got my love of the river. The year I was born, 1961, Dad bought a shack here, shack number 34, and that was because we lived at a little place called Wynaka up in the Murray Mallee, and it was 21 miles to Bowhill. I remember the signpost clearly. So it was just a great spot where Dad could come and take us on holidays, and he could shoot back and check out the sheep and stuff like that, check the farm out, feed the sheep. So we were brought up here in the summer. Dad got into his water skiing, sort of where there wasn't too many water skiers back in those days. He used to make his own water skis. So we started skiing and that at a fairly young age. So we're going to go and check it out now. I'll take you for a bit of a canoe trip and go past it. And what used to be our little tin shed with a boat shed and a little outside toilet is now probably a $1.5 million mansion. The bit I want to show you is a gum tree that Dad planted probably in about 1970 or 70 to 75, and I've got a photo of it when it was probably only a year old, and we'll check and see how big it is now. But let's go and check out Bowhill. So heading off for a bit of a canoe trip here at Bowhill. Beautiful morning. Probably going to be a bit of a nostalgia trip. As I said, this is where I was brought up on the river, and we'll go for a bit of a row and go and find out where the old shack was maybe. If not, we'll walk down there later on and yeah, just have a bit of a look around. Got the leaves just starting to come back on the willows, and a little spot I wanted to go to is just up here, and it's a bit hard to see when the leaves are out in the willows. It's sort of hidden. It's a man-made channel into a bit of a lake back in behind or opposite the shops, but there's an entrance up here somewhere, and the plan was to go through the little entrance and go out to the lake, but I'm pretty sure it's all blocked off with reeds and weeds and stuff. But we'll go and see what we can see. We'll go in and have a bit of a look. I'll put the drone up at some stage and show you what I'm talking about with the lake across the other side and some cliffs. Plan was to try and get through here with my swag and camp for a night or two. Whoops, just hit something on the bottom, hit a log. Would have been a long time since a dinghy's been through here. So we're starting to hit a few logs on the bottom. We'll go and see what we can. Whoops, I'm just going over a log now. And that's going to be about it, I think. Oops, going through a bit of a spider web here. There. Yeah, it would have been good to get through there, but I don't think we'll get through it. I don't want to get stuck. Yeah, up there it looks like it gets a bit thick. log there, nearly hit my head. That dirty great big gum tree there is the one Dad planted. I've got a photo of that when it was pretty well just put in. And that was where our shack was, straight behind. It's a bit better than the one we used to have, but then again, I used to love coming to the little tin shack. Wow. None of these jetties were here. The only jetty was one down there by that willow. And our neighbours, who were Henleys, they had a little jetty down there. But wow. Look at that gum tree. I'll walk down here later on and take some photos, and also I've got a few photos of when it was flooding. Obviously not the 1956 flood, because I'm obviously way too young for that. But in my time we probably had about 3 or 4 floods where the water got up to at least 2 feet into the shack. And I remember having to come down and we were shoveling mud out. But yeah, that gum tree was put right on the edge of our block, and that used to be our area just in there. So here's a few split screens of the shack back in the day. This first one got me sitting on the seat. Great friend of mine, Kim Oakley, rest in peace. Next to him, Peter Blackett, and my sister-in-law, Monica. And just over the guy, Peter Blackett's shoulder, his right shoulder, as we look at him, you can see that gum tree just starting to grow in between him and Monica. And there it is in the right, pretty much the same spot. This is looking back to the left at a couple of shacks. The shack on the right is still there. They've just modified it a little bit. And that's our shack there with Mum standing in the front. And the new one to the right. A little bit of a difference there. And that's looking back at the gum tree. Left photo, you can see the gum tree at the front right, how small it is and how it is now. And that's sort of looking back just nearly from the boat shed when it's flooded. Mum sitting on the neighbour's jetty. That jetty's not there anymore. The one on the right is a new one, which would be about 2 or 3 metres to the right of the original. And there's the Coonawarra, which used to go past a couple of times each week. My brother going for a water ski past the Bowhill shops. And that was my little swimming pool Dad made to keep me safe. I hated it. And that's another photo of when it's flooded. Bank used to be down by those reeds, and that's the shack before we put the boat shed and the bathroom on the front. And another look at the shack, that's ours on the left there. So guys, I've had to put the camera on for this. I've just put my first lot of shrimps on, and I've got a double header of bloody callop. Unbelievable. The old shrimp. Look at that, 2 callop. Okay guys, tonight we've got callop wraps. The first time I've caught a callop on the trip. We're going to put a bit of butter in here. So a bit of butter, we'll get that sizzle going. Beautiful bits of callop. Oh, listen to that sizzle. We love the sizzle. Get that in there. Bit of my speciality, bit of lemon pepper seasoning. Beautiful. Oh, smells alright. Beautiful day here. About 5:30 at Bowhill. That sizzle, beautiful. The fish down there. Stick the wrap on, just to heat it up a bit. Like my wraps warm. Got my freshly cleaned table, so that'll be okay. Better try this bit first. Beautiful. Nearly as good as the Murray Marlin. Okay, let's get this wrap going. Looking good. Got the lemon pepper on there. Probably doesn't need any salt, but just a touch of salt. And I don't know whether it goes with the fish or not, but I don't mind me sweet chili sauce, so we're going to put a little bit on there. Not too much. Should be about right. And we'll wrap her up and give her a taste test. Another bite here. Getting in a mess. Absolutely beautiful. 8.1. That's my review. That's my catch and cook. Catch you guys later. So beautiful day here at Bowhill, and I've even got Mum coming down and visit me. She's going to have lunch with me today. What do you think of the old houseboat, Mum?
Oh, I think it's good. We've been a little bit crazy today, but we're having fun.
First time Mum's seen the houseboat, so she's come down the hill and managed to get in.
The sun today, beautiful down the river.
Looks like we got someone chucking rocks behind with the Jasons back there. We'll go and see what we can see. There we go. I thought it'd have to be Jason chucking rocks. Lunch date at Bowhill store for Mel's birthday. Happy birthday. Well, that's going to finish the video down here to Bowhill. Had a few ups and downs, running out of fuel, the motor not going, but we've got it all sorted out now. Thanks for my son coming down, bringing a few parts and a few things for me, and also a great catch up with Mum and Jason and Mel, and Mel's mum and dad, Joan and Grantley, for her birthday. So great time here at Bowhill. Probably going to sneak off tomorrow morning, and not going too far, just probably going to go around the corner towards Purnong. If I find a nice spot, I might camp there for a couple of days, and plan to be at Purnong for next weekend. So thanks for watching. Same as normal, tell your mates, leave some questions if you've got any comments, press the like button, subscribe, all of that stuff. So thanks for watching, we'll catch you next week.